So you're thinking about moving to Jamestown, Rhode Island? Well, in today's video, my team and I are gonna show you exactly what it's like living here in Jamestown, Rhode Island. We're gonna drop down to the map on my desktop so you can see every single detail that you need if you're looking to move to Jamestown, Rhode Island. Let's get started right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is about living in Rhode Island or surrounding areas like Jamestown, subscribe below, tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to learn about the current market here in Rhode Island. My name is Devin, and my team and I, we get calls and emails every single day from people just like you looking to make their move to Rhode Island, and we absolutely love it. Whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email so we can help you make a smooth transition here to Rhode Island. In today's video, we're gonna cover the map of Jamestown. Let's jump over to my desktop right now. In today's video, we're gonna highlight what it's like to live in Jamestown, Rhode Island. Some of the highlights that I always like to start off with in my map videos is the proximity to different areas within Rhode Island. So as you can see, Jamestown is located primarily between Newport and the Narragansett, North Kingstown area. So a lot of people like living in Jamestown because it's much quieter than Newport. You can easily access Newport either through a ferry boat ride or going over the Newport Bridge. It takes about 7 to 10 minutes to get to Newport. In the summertime, expect some traffic delays. You can go straight off the bridge rather than dumping right into Newport, and this would allow you to come back on 3rd Street and be able to get into Newport quite easily. From Jamestown to Middletown, give yourself about 20 minutes. From Jamestown to Portsmouth, I would say 25 to 30 minutes, depending on traffic and the congestion here during the summer months. In the winter months, we don't have as much congestion. If you're looking to get out to Tiverton, I'd give yourself 40 minutes. Bristol, probably about an hour. Bristol tends to get backed up a lot in the summertime, especially coming over the Mount Hope Bridge. If you're going out the other side of Jamestown, North Kingstown's an easy 10 to 15 minute ride. Getting down into Point Judith, Narragansett area, I'd give yourself 25 or 30 minutes, again, depending on beach traffic. As you head up towards East Greenwich, that's probably gonna be closer to 25 minute ride. And then the Providence Airport, which we've talked about in different vlogs, is located in Warwick. So from Jamestown to the Providence Airport, I'd give yourself 30 minutes. It's much easier to get to than having to come from Newport because you're not hitting a lot of the traffic. You can jump onto 138, go up Route 1 and be able to get up there fairly quickly. And that also hops onto 95. So depending on what route you take, it's very easy to get to. Now, Jamestown tends to be a very attractive market for those coming from Connecticut. It's about an hour and a half to 2 hours from Connecticut. It's about 4 and 4.5 hours from New York. And then it's gonna be a little less desirable from Boston because Boston likes to be able to come down Route 24 and not hit a lot of the traffic. If you're coming from Boston, you would obviously take 95 down to Jamestown through North Kingstown. And that's gonna be probably a little longer of a route. You're looking at about 2 hours to 2 hours and 30 minutes. So that's just giving you some proximity. You can see Martha's Vineyard off over here in Nantucket. Again, Jamestown, people like it because it's quieter than Newport. You still can access the main attraction, which is Newport, because a lot of the tourism takes place in Newport, but also have your privacy as well and peace of quiet. Now, some of the things to highlight in Jamestown is that its population size is very small. It's about 6,000 year-round residents that occupy Jamestown. It's definitely gonna be more of a summer home, second market. So if you're looking for a lot of things to do in the wintertime, Jamestown may not be the best location for you. I would consider probably Newport or coming up into the North Kingstown, East Greenwich area where the population size tends to stay a lot more steady through the winter months. The median price point in Jamestown, it is expensive. It's $950,000 to about $1 million. This year it got closer to $1 million just due to COVID and things, you know, with the limited inventory that we have. So just keep in mind that if you're looking to move to Jamestown, it's going to be more expensive. Some two major key things to notate here is Jamestown only has one gas station. Here it is, this Cumberland Farms. It's on 41 North Road. Here in Jamestown. The issue with that, when you have one gas station in town, you know, gas stations need to be serviced. So when this gas station needs to be serviced and they need to shut down the pumps, you have to travel off the island into Newport or into Kingstown in order to be able to get gas. So that's just something mindful to be mindful of. Also, Jamestown has no pharmacies. They have no pharmacies. So it's very difficult to get your medicine or medication in the event that you get sick. So just keep that in mind. Those are two things you probably would not consider or be aware of if you weren't local to the area. So just keep that in mind. There's one gas station and no pharmacy. So we covered some of the proximity, covered some of the highlights. What I'd like to do now is talk about the neighborhoods that we discussed in the Jamestown vlog. So we'll get started off with the Shoreby Hill neighborhood. Now the Shoreby Hill neighborhood is pretty much, I would say, from Knowles Court over to Emerson Road. So this is gonna be the Shoreby Hills neighborhood. Now this neighborhood was predominantly summer homes when it was developed. There's an upper and lower Shoreby Hill association. And what people like about Shoreby Hill is it's away from town, but it's walkable to Narragansett Ave. Narragansett Ave is going to be the main hub that has your shopping, your restaurants, your entertainment. So it's far enough away where you're removed from it, but also close enough where you can walk to it. Also, what's nice is you do have the East Ferry Beach directly across from Shoreby Hill. So it is convenient in the fact that you can get to the restaurants, entertainment, and shopping, and be able to go to the beach at the same time. The price points in this neighborhood are gonna be more expensive. It is probably the most desirable, one of the most desirable neighborhoods in Jamestown. So this is gonna be the location of the Shoreby Hill. Alrighty, now we'll move over to the Village. So the Village so Shoreby Hill is technically a part of the Village, so I don't want you guys to get confused. I just separated it as a neighborhood because it does have a little bit of exclusivity. It is a neighborhood that people kind of separate from the Village. But the Village is gonna be really made up of from Hamilton Ave right here, all the way to, I would say, Whittier Road, to basically abuts the Jamestown Golf Course. People like this location as well because, again, it's easily walkable to downtown. You do have some privacy over here, and it's just easy to walk without having to drive anywhere. So this becomes a highly popular location for people that own second homes and people that want to be able to access the entertainment without having to be right next to the entertainment, as far as being able to have a little bit of peace and quiet. So this is the Village. Again, it's from Hamilton Ave, abutting pretty much the Jamestown Golf Course. Now, that is the second neighborhood that I highlighted. The third neighborhood that people buy in, especially from out of town, especially for those that are looking for a lot more acreage and a lot more exclusivity and privacy, and that's gonna be on Beavertail Road. So Beavertail Road is all the way on this point of Jamestown, the southern point of Jamestown. So Beavertail Road, the lots, the price points, the lots are much bigger and the price points are much higher. So your price points are gonna be $2 million and up. And people like this area because they can choose to be as private as they want, or they can drive into town if they choose to do so. What I tend to find is that people buy out here want their peace and quiet. They don't want people to be able to just come up to their door, be able to see their house. A lot of these homes will have gates or extremely long driveways back to the properties. A lot of the homes kind of sit right in here. You literally can't see them from the road. So that's the third neighborhood, is the Beavertail neighborhood. Now, one of the more popular neighborhoods is the East Shore Road. What I like about East Shore Road is it's very convenient to get on and off of 138. A lot of the homes here are gonna be your luxury waterfront properties. They have really beautiful views, and what's nice about East Shore Road that a lot of people may not know is a lot of the properties here have access to docks and being able to pull up a boat. And for people that can afford these type of price points, for people that want to be able to just walk out of their backyard down to their dock and take off, the East Shore Road neighborhood is going to be where you would want to focus. Price points over here are going to be from $1 million all the way up to $7 million, maybe a little higher. So this is going to be a little bit of pricier price point if you're looking to buy in. But again, it offers a lot of features that the other neighborhoods in Jamestown just don't offer. Now, the last neighborhood that I featured in the Jamestown vlog was the Jamestown Shores neighborhood. Now, the price points, I tend to find this neighborhood tends to be more of the families that live here year round. The homes are gonna be more on top of each other. Price points are gonna be a little more affordable, but what's nice about this neighborhood is you are kind of the first neighborhood that you hit coming off of 138 as you go over the Jamestown Bridge. So you can take this exit and be able to access this neighborhood fairly easily. I would say the negative about this neighborhood is getting into town is a little more difficult. It's not as easy to access downtown. So if you're looking to be walkable, again, the Shoreby Hill neighborhood, the Village neighborhood, but back here, the Jamestown Shores, this is definitely a much more affordable price point if you're looking to get onto Jamestown. Now, those are kind of the high level overview of the neighborhoods. I talked about, I hit on this earlier, but pretty much all of your restaurants are going to be on Narragansett Ave. So here's the East Ferry Deli. Again, this is more of a breakfast spot and a lunch spot. This is not going to be a dinner spot for you. So if you're heading to the beach, if you're looking for a quick bite, maybe you don't want to cook for the family or friends, this is the spot I recommend doing. Their sandwiches are excellent and they're just consistently putting out good food. So that's the East Fair Deli right here on the corner of Kananagas Ave and Narragansett. Now, the new property, so this is beach. So this used to be the old Sampatico. I'm gonna click on a few photos here so you can see what they've done. They really, in my opinion, transformed this outdoor space. Simpatico, I think they did a great job, but they really didn't take advantage of the outdoor space that beach has. So I find this a nice area to grab dinner, relax, have a drink, and be able to enjoy the elements of summer. You almost feel like you're in a treehouse. In fact, they have a bar right up here, I think called the Treehouse. So this is a restaurant that you will certainly enjoy and definitely more of an evening spot. Now, the third restaurant that I highlighted, and again, pretty much all the restaurants here are Narragansett Cafe, Slice of Heaven, pretty much everything exists on Narragansett Ave, but was J22. This is gonna be more of your seafood restaurant. They're known for their oysters. They're known for more of a seafood choice, their raw bar. It's not a very big restaurant, so it's more casual. I would say beach is a little more, collared shirt, shorts, khakis, etc. J22, I think, is a little more relaxed, and just to kind of give you an inside look of their restaurant, you can see the outside here. Here's the bar. So not very big. They maybe have 10, 15 tables, but the food's good, always been really consistent. So those are three of the restaurants that I highlighted and recommended. Moving over to some of the beaches, since a lot of people come here for the beaches. So the first beach here is Potter Cove's beach. This tends to be a popular beach for people that are anchoring their boats out here in Potter's Cove. Potter's Cove is an area that you'll find in the summer that a lot of people like to drop anchor and hang out here for the day. The reason why a lot of boaters like this location is because if you needed to get to shore, you can easily swim or dinghy into the beach. There's also, if you're traveling here, what people like is there's no charge for parking here on Freebody Street. So you can come onto East Shore Road, drive onto Freebody Street, and there's a lot of parking right here. Probably not the most popular beach. I would say Mackerel Cove is probably the most popular beach, but this tends to be a beach that a lot of people, a lot of boaters go to. So that's gonna be Potter's Cove. That's kind of in the middle of the island and very convenient because you can get off of Route 38. Mackerel's Cove, it's right here. This is gonna be more towards the Beaver Tail neighborhood. People like Mackerel Cove. I think it's probably one of the prettier beaches in Jamestown. Obviously, it's a cove here. There's not a lot of parking, so that's one thing you may want to consider, and you have to pay for parking or get a residential beach pass. But it is probably one of the better beaches as far as sand is concerned, as far as quiet and enjoyment. Again, not a very big beach, but definitely a beach worth checking out. Now, for those in the Jamestown Shores neighborhood, here's Sunset Beach. So Sunset Beach is a very small beach. It tends to be a beach that a lot of locals go to that live in the Jamestown Shores neighborhood. It's really, just to give you a heads up, it's got a lot of seashells on it. It's got a lot of rocks. So again, if you're looking for a beach that has probably the best sand, I would recommend Mackerel Cove, which is which is right on Beavertail Road here. So here's your 3 beaches: Sunset, Potter's Cove, and Mackerel Cove. Now, as far as things to do, there's a few things that I recommend doing. So here you have, as you head past Mackerel Cove, you can go to the Beavertail, obviously neighborhood, but also off of Beavertail Road is Fort Getty Road. And this is Fort Getty Park. This is a really, really popular RV camping ground. I know it's kind of ironic for being in Jamestown, but it's very well known for people that are traveling, that are kind of in and out, who are really into the camping world. They also have a pavilion, probably right back in here, that you can rent. I can't think of a better place to have wedding photography, photos, maybe a family get together. So you can rent a pavilion here at Fort Getty. I believe they charge $20 to get in. So you are gonna pay, but again, it's heavily known for RV and has some great spots for you to check out and definitely enjoy with your family and friends. Now, one of the most iconic spots, and this is really where most people from out of town begin to travel, is the Beavertail Lighthouse. So this is on the most southern tip of Jamestown. It's the third oldest lighthouse in the United States. So I'm gonna click on this so you can get a feel for it. So as you can see, there were 641,000 photos that have been uploaded. So they do have a museum and shop that you can get, you can get some, I would say, touristy items that you can bring back to family and friends. But this is a place that you can walk, you can hike. I would probably say the wedding photos out here are even better than the Fort Getty Park. This is I would say the main draw, and one of the main things to do in Jamestown is to visit the Beavertail Lighthouse, Beavertail Lighthouse Museum, so you can buy some t-shirts, some coffee mugs, things like that, that you can bring to friends and family. The third thing that I recommended to do is to go to the Jamestown Golf Course. I love playing the Jamestown Golf Course. I'm a big golfer myself. What I like about the Jamestown Golf Course is it is a public course. I think their price point is very affordable, and it's a course that you can walk. You don't have to get a golf cart because the course, it doesn't play that long. So if you're looking for, and it's 9 holes, so if you're looking for something to entertain yourselves, it's an easy course to play. It's an easy course to go out and walk. Family, especially if you're not an avid golfer, I think you'll really enjoy this golf course. Recently, they did redo the entire clubhouse. The clubhouse used to kind of be much smaller, but now I think they did a spectacular job in developing the clubhouse, and it's now a place to really be able to get together. They have good food, simple food, but good food, and definitely a place you want to visit if you are an avid golfer. So Jamestown Golf Course, right off the exit of getting into Jamestown. Now schools, their schools, they don't have high schools on the island, so I just want to point that out. The residents do have a choice to attend North Kingstown or Narragansett. So that becomes a highlight for families that are here all year round because they have options. They have an option to go to the school system of their choice. Most, in my opinion, tend to gravitate toward North Kingstown High School. So that's just something to highlight. And the classroom size is going to be much smaller as the kids are growing up. So as far as a teaching perspective and a one-on-one perspective, a lot of parents find that to be advantageous, especially with their kids attending public schools. Now, wedding venues I always like highlighting because wedding venues are, I think wedding venues really drive the economy here in the Rhode Island market. So many people come here to have their weddings. So you have 2 wedding recommendations that I recommend. So Dragonline Studios, this is right out here, and you have almost, I would say, 180 water view right here. It is a spectacular site. So if you're looking to have a wedding, check out Dragonline Studios. I'm gonna click on this so you guys can see as well. Just the views you have. You can see Castle Hill right here. Here's a wedding And it's not just for weddings. I will notate that it does have, you can rent this out for events. It can occupy, I would say, about a 200-person wedding. So they do mention that you can actually park at the Weather Hill State Park. So it can hold up a wedding that really holds about 200 people. The second wedding venue that I recommend is the Weather Ledge wedding spot. So that's gonna be right here. This spot has, I mean, the views in Jamestown in general are beautiful, but these are two wedding venue spots that I really recommend that you look at if Newport or Middletown or even Portsmouth or Narragansett is not going to be an option. So that's giving you a pretty much a highlight of the neighborhoods, the restaurants, things to do, things you should check out. So thank you for joining me today. This was a map video of Jamestown. If you're looking for more information on moving to Jamestown or surrounding areas in Rhode Island, all of my information will be provided in the description below.